Hello, it is week 10, day 1. Yeah, it's crazy how fast the summer has gone, and even CJ says this is the fastest program he has led. Um, we're just we just keep going and going. Um, and so I wanted to talk a little bit about last week. I haven't made a video for Cole Porter Friday, and I remember in my last video I said I would tell you how the money from the scratcher ticket was used, but I realized I don't think I did in my last video. But anyway, so here's how it was used. Later that afternoon, I met a lady, and so I saw kids stuff. So I I opened up Canvas her with an SD, but she was an older woman, so I thought that she's probably a grandmother. And then she was telling me how, yeah, she did have grandchildren and she would take care of them, and how she was a Catholic. And then I showed her Lessons of Love, and it's like, oh, this talks about the parable of Christ. And then as I was talking, like, she held the books to her chest, kind of like hugging it. That's one of the indicators that you can keep going and showing more books, because these people, like, they already like what's already in their hand. And so she was hugging it, so I showed her Promises of Peace as well. And then when I gave the donation ranges, she said, oh, I really don't have that much money, but I'd like to give you, a donation. Like, you don't have to give me any of the books, but I'd like to give you a donation. And then she comes back out and she's like, this is all I have. And she was like, I wish you could come back another time, but I don't have any money right now. And she came back with like $2. And then and then because of the scratcher ticket donation, I was able to give her Lessons of Love, and so she was able to have that devotional book. And she also gave me 2 bottles of water. And then later, let's see. Okay, so yeah, that was it for that one. For Cole Porter Friday, I was in Ellis Van again. This was Hayel's last day, and she was just like coughing fits. Like, she would have to stop working because her coughing and her bronchitis was just getting too bad. But she still kept going, and so I really admire that about her, how she just pushed through, even though it was really difficult. Especially, I know when I have a headache or when I don't feel well on the field, it is hard to be positive and just to keep going. And so I really admire Hayel for that. She's been struggling with bronchitis for weeks, and she still just kept going, in the heat, in the cold. She just pushed through, and so she's left for Oshkosh now, but it's a reminder to me to just keep going, and the Lord will sustain. And for that Friday, I met this, I am blanking out. Oh, I met this lady. Oh, I was doing businesses in the morning, and then I met this guy at an ice cream shop, and I was gonna canvas for ice cream, but he ended up giving an actual donation. He's like, yeah, I don't need any of the books. And then I was showing him GC in Spanish. He's like, yeah, but how do you know what this contains? And I showed him the English version. I was like, I've read the English version, and that's how I know what this book is all about. He was like, okay, I really admire what you're doing. I don't need any of the books, but I would like to give a donation. And so he gave me a $10 donation. And later that day, I canvassed a man, and he was really interested in the GC, but he had just gotten laid off. He didn't have any money. He was like, could you come back next week? And so for this one, when people ask you to come back, it's usually a smoke screen. But I asked for his information. He actually gave me a phone number, a time slot when he would be home, as well as their address, because I was canvassing him in a car. And then, so this was kind of showing commitment. And then, so later that night, when I got more donations, I was able to, a few houses down, I was able to go back and then, give him that GC, because of the donation I had gotten from the ice cream shop. And then, so earlier that day as well, I had met a lady. She was a single mom, and all she could come up with was $5 for the ST, and then so I left that as well. So that day, I had kind of given 2 books out, with with not having enough with just over donations, not they where they didn't give enough donations to actually cover the price of the book. But I was like giving it out in faith, and then at the end of the night I was like, ooh, there was this other guy I met, he really interested in the habits that heal, but because I had already given 2 books out, I was like, I didn't have enough over donations to cover this one as well. He was diabetic, and I was like, Lord, like, I wish I could leave that with him. But because it was the end of the night already, I knew that I wasn't going to get any more donations. So I got his information, and I know that we're going to be working in Oxnard today and tomorrow. So I was like, I can give you a call, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, because I really want this book. And then so I'm going to do that today, and hopefully he is able to get it. But that night I got another a call back from the Phonathon, who gave me a $200 donation. So it was kind of a rebuke to me. Well, there's 2 sides of the coin. One is you have to be careful with giving books out, because you don't want to be in the negative at the end of the night. But I wouldn't have been, because I got that Phonathon donation. And for the most, like, this whole summer, every book I have given out in faith has been covered. And I kind of feel bad because I didn't give out that Habits That Heal when it would have been covered anyway, and the Lord would have provided for it. So hopefully I can do that today and meet with this man again and give him the Habits That Heal. So yeah, that's all for now. See you guys later. Oh, and prayer requests for just this is our last 2 days on the field, Sunday and Monday, and then Tuesday we'll be doing a facility cleanup. Wednesday is slush day. Thursday we head out to iShare, and we're there until Sunday. And yeah, so prayer requests for powerful experiences with our last 2 days on the field. Bye.